This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so yesterday I was explaining you what is meant by transfer oscillator. What is this transfer oscillator? Pretty straightforward, sir. Let us take an example in a very short. So this is India. I am here. Now my agenda is to move my files into, what is that? Where is that? In AWS
Yes.
S3, especially one bucket which is present in United States. So generally, if you download or you upload the file, my file will move where it will move. It will use C cables, that is Mumbai, that is basically South Africa, Kenya, Italy, Scotland, basically then going to North Virginia, going check it out and adding up here. So, and these, so it will travel like this in generally internet C cables, right? But when I go and enable transfer oscillator, what happens? You don't do anything. So the big good part here is now the data transfer will move here to, let's take an example. What is present here?
Edge location.
Yes, edge location. And the file will move from here to here. And I don't care whether they are using normal internet cable or they are using their own C cable. I don't do it. This edge location will have a better internet than you. So then it will travel the data from here to here with a greater speed. That is the reason with the transfer oscillator, your data movement would be, what is that? Faster, very faster. Is it clear, guys? Hope you understood what is meant by translator and hope you understood what is edge locations. From now onwards, maybe next 3-4 AWS services, you will see importance of edge locations like CDN, other things. You will get Lambda functions, API gateway. You will see something about edge locations. Is it clear what is transfer oscillator? Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? Just you need to enable it. That's it. You just need to enable. From your side, you are not going to do anything. You are just going to download and upload, but it will be greater speed. Clear, guys? Is it clear? Any questions, anyone? Okay. So this is
Is it
called as,
chargeable?
yes, sir.
Is it chargeable, Kumar sir?
Definitely it is chargeable. Why it will be free, sir? They are putting your data in a separate field. They're moving in a separate cable. So there everything will be free or what?
No,
Their
no, the
business.
storing into the bucket that is chargeable, but it is since we are transfer accelerator, we are
Transfer
activating.
oscillator, you will get bandwidth. You're getting a greater bandwidth. You'll get bandwidth charges.
Okay.
It is a service, sir. Anything is a service. Airtel is providing, what is that? Internet services. Is it free? Services, anything in the world, services is chargeable. Okay. So when you use transfer oscillator, AWS is providing a better bandwidth where your data is pushed on a faster way. They will charge you. Simple. Hope you understood what is transfer oscillator. Okay, so this is there. Please write it down. Maybe the next one. Please write it down. Yesterday, some people asked the questions. That topic it is actually. What is that? S3 replication. S3 replication. Sir, what is the meaning of a replication? Sir, what is the meaning of replication? Okay, not kind of a duplicate, but you can call it as copy, a copy. So what is meant by replication? Why it will help you out? Okay, I will tell you a real-time scenario to understand it. AWS S3 is taken care by you or AWS? AWS, obviously. So you keep your files in AWS S3, happy? AWS S3 in 2016 is down for 6 hours. For the first time in the history of AWS, AWS S3 is down for 6 hours. 6 hours AWS S3 is not working in North Virginia. What is the reason? I'll tell you. It's nothing related to AWS. It is one manual issue. One because of one person AWS S3 was down. What is AWS S3, sir, actually? AWS S3 is nothing but S3 means what? AWS will also in the background will buy big storage boxes. When you drag and drop a file, they will take your file and keep it in that box. Those boxes are WAN or SAN boxes, big boxes. So AWS S3, they have seen lot of traffic increase. So they ordered 8 more big clusters. So they want to attach it so that now more and more people drag and drop, you have lot of big clusters. So they bought the big clusters. What they need to do, they need to keep it in everything in cable, and they will write a program and they'll say like attach. So what will happen? The big clusters will attach. Now anyone is adding the files, it will go and add it into the new one. Instead of writing an attach, he has written a program to detach additional 8, means delete 8. First of all, the incoming traffic is high. Instead of attaching 8 big clusters, he has written a program to what to do? Delete 8. So 8 servers were detached. The traffic is so high and AWS S3 was completely down. Now tell me, who are using AWS S3? Which customers are using AWS S3? Which customers? Example, what customer names? Yes, Netflix. Okay, Netflix is using. Now, Netflix is depend on AWS S3. S3 is down for 6 hours. Will you keep quiet? You are a Netflix user. You click on it. Netflix is throwing an error. Netflix is don't have a problem. Netflix is adding their services in AWS S3. S3 is down. That means Netflix is down. Will people will think about, "Arey, Netflix is so good guy, man, but AWS is the culprit." They will think about Netflix is loud and get out. This is a useless application. Yes or no? Netflix was not a single second down. Even S3 was not working, right? Netflix was working. So why, sir? Sir, the reason is, so what do you do right now? Let's take an example. You are present here. You move your files into one, what is that? S3 bucket. This S3 bucket is present in, let us take an example. What is that location? Mumbai. You kept your files here. Suddenly, Mumbai region is not working because of XYZ reason. Can you access the files? Can you access the files? Because the region is not working. Why? Why the region is not working? Because of XYZ factor. Anything can happen, right? But if S3 is not working, some people who depending on S3 files, they are not working. Instead of that, you have a concept called as, what is that? You keep your files into AWS S3. You keep a file into AWS S3. What you can do it, whenever you drag and drop one file here, what you can do, you can replicate. That means this particular files will move into another, what is that? S3, what is that? Bucket. You can set in such a way this bucket is present in, what is that? Singapore. So you have a similar copies, 6 files are present in Singapore. Tomorrow Mumbai is not working. There is no need to worry. You can connect back to, what is that? Singapore. Is it clear, right? That is called as, that concept is called as, what is that? S3 replication, or in short, some people call it as, what is that? What is that? Cross region replication. Why not? So you can replicate like this one also. This is Mumbai. You can create another place, another bucket, which is also in where, what is that? Mumbai. But what is the not benefit? Mumbai is gone, everything is not working, right? So you can move it into cross-region replication also. When you do a cross-region replication, when you drag and drop a file, the file will be moving into another region. Very exclusively, very premium and very, very, very important files can be replicated like this. What is that? What is the cost? Hmm. Definitely, it is double cost for you. But what are you getting? That is what I'm saying you. That is what just now 1 minute back I used a word. Exclusively premier customers will use this one. Premium. Why? Netflix reliability is important or cost is important? Netflix is slow, very slow, but Netflix is okay, available for 10 rupees per day. Will you go for it? You want good movie, high quality. I am ready to pay 500 rupees per month. So Netflix kind of a company will not look for cost. They want what? 24 into 7 into 365 days, the website should be working at any cost. Yes or no? For them, that is what I said you. You want to, if a customer is there, let us take an example. Kelly customer is there. Kelly customer is what? It's a local customer. They don't have money where they can go and specify, no need to worry, I'll be running a basically you go and provide Kumar, you provide AWS training, I will bear basically $10,000 per month. So there is a budget, right? So you have how many 60 students per month class, what is the budget they have to go, what, where, and everything, they will go like that. Is it clear, right? So that is the reason why good customers, anyone wants, like, they will go for replication. You will get a double cost. If your S3 price getting $100 per month, you will get $190 per month. Why? It is having another copy. Is it clear, right? So that is the reason you can enable something called as S3 replication. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? So how do you do this one? Pretty straightforward, very straightforward. So I have already done it. I'll show you. Okay, what is this one? So there is, what is this one? What is the bucket name? How do I increase the font, man? No. Okay. If you see here, I have, what is the bucket name? What is this one? Source. And what is this one? North Virginia. I will go and add a file into the source. Or the file will automatically replicate to another bucket, which is present in, what is that? Ohio, automatically. You don't need to worry. Automatically, I can do it. This one. How do I do it? How do I enable it? We'll go for it. And also please write it down. The replication is only this way. That means tomorrow you go and add a file here. That will not replicate it here. It's only, what is that? One way. Source to destination. Is it clear, right? So that is also there. Keep it in your mind. So you have a source. Let's go for it. How do you replicate it? Sir, how do I replicate it? Go to the source bucket, wherever the important file you have it. And then you have a concept called as, what is this one? What is this one in the here? Management. Click on management. Then you have a concept here. What is this one? What is this? Replication rule. Let's take an example. Create a rule. You can create a rule. Rule name is equal to this one. Okay. You want to enable it? Yes or no? Now, what is your source bucket? This one. Which region? This one. Do you want to limit the scope, or is it applicable to all the objects in the bucket? You are the only certain folders or entire bucket. You are the owner. You can decide it. And then you can go and mention, what is this one? Destination. Destination, choose the bucket. Choose the bucket which is present in another region. And then simply, what do you want to do? You have all the control like this one. What do you want to do and everything? Additional replication. See, you want to decrease some price, right? What you can do, source, you add it, the file should move it into destination. And when you are going to access destination file, when source file is not available, then you, what are the chances where the source file is not available? What are the chances? Very rarely. S3 will be never down, but if it is down, so you can come up and say, in my source, my files should be in standard mode, but in destination, infrequent standard. So you get lesser cost, right? Then you can use this one. Change the storage class in replicated object. You can come up and say, boss, I don't want standard. I want, what is that? So you get little bit lesser cost. Is it clear, right? Those kind of things are there. You are the owner. You create it, click on OK. That's it. See, I have already created one rule here. When you click on save, replication rule, it is automatically moves into what is that? Destination in Ohio. Let us see. I'll go for very small. It will take some time to move it. It will take some time to move it. I am in the source bucket. I'll go and click on upload, add a file. It will take some 2 minutes, 1 minute. I'm going and adding, what is that? Dixit file in the source. Click on OK, Dixit file. So replication, basically destination is source. Okay, I just go and click on up. That's it. Done. Yes or no? Where did I upload it? Source. Where it will move? Destination. You move it. Just wait for it. It may not be not instant. It will take slight time based on that. But let's go back and see. I'll go into destination. Give me certain time, little bit of time. See, man, it automatically moved. Is it clear? It automatically moved. I'm doing a small experiment. Let me do a small experiment. What is replication? Always remember this one. Let's do that small experiment. Now only. In the source, I'll go and what I'll do? What is this? Okay, deleted. Let us see. We will need to wait for some time. Wait for it. Okay, what is, see, if I go and delete a file in source, it should be deleted in destination also? Yes or no? Yes. That is what
No.
it is replication. Lot of people will think, right? I add a file into the source, the file will be copying into the destination. Sir, tomorrow someone in the source, the file is not available, deleted. Then the file should be present in destination. That is not replication. Replica means what? Same to same. You add a file here, the file will be there. Tomorrow you delete a file here, the file should be deleted. Then what is the use of this one? When tomorrow the region is down, I did not delete it. The region is down, there is a copy. But replica means don't go and provide an unnecessary fake assurance to the customer. Sir, when the file is deleted here, don't worry, the file will be present in destination. It won't be. Replica means what? Same to same. Is it clear, right? Keep it in your mind. So hope you understood what is meant by cross-region replication, or basically replication in AWS S3. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions? Please let me know.
Yes, Kumar. Cross region is means like we are in the India, right? So other than the other countries, you mean to say, right?
Yes.
It's not in the within the country.
Why not in any, basically cross region means cross region, not cross country. Cross region means you created files in Mumbai, you can replicate in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is also another region.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That I meant across region. I thought it will be another country. Okay.
You can make it, sir. You are the owner, right? You can keep it one in Mumbai and you can keep it in another one in Japan or in Singapore. You
Is
are the
there any
owner.
cost difference?
Definitely it will cost, as I said you. AWS is replicating the file, keeping your files
No,
duplicate, you'll get
replicating, but
double.
replicating in the Mumbai. Currently, my S3 bucket is in the Hyderabad. I want to replicate in the Mumbai.
Uh,
One
you
same
will
thing
get
I
double
want to,
cost.
yeah, double cost. But instead of Mumbai, I will go with the Singapore.
Uh, you will get
That
double
is the
cost. What
same.
is there in that?
No, since it is a distance is increases and bandwidth is consuming, and for that also it will
There
AWS
is
will
no
charge.
cost. There is no cost. No, sir. Wrong, sir. Wrong assumption. There is no cost for distance, sir. There is
No,
only
since it
cost
is
for
a bandwidth.
bandwidth.
Hmm, no,
How the
no.
band will increase? Bandwidth, you are having 1 GB file. AWS is moving 1 GB into Singapore or 1 GB basically in Hyderabad. So the bandwidth consumed is same data. How much data you have, that is bandwidth. Suddenly the distance increases. It's not the case.
Okay.
Okay, got it right?
Yeah.
So keep it in your mind. So that is, you have a cross region replication. You can go for cross region replication. Now the question, I like to go for the another service. Pretty simple, very small service, very
Sir, one
important
question.
service. Yes, sir.
Sir, what is the replication time control?
What is the replication time control means?
Means what is use of RTC? Where is use?
Replication, where it is used.
Sir.
Wherever
Replication
you have
time
a,
control.
wherever you have a disaster, wherever you want to implement disaster plan, replication will come into picture.
Okay, sir.
Wherever disaster. Tomorrow, Hyderabad, you kept your file. Hyderabad is having earthquake, but my application should work even if one region is not working. You should have a replica in another region. You will enable replication.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
One
so
question.
yes, sir.
Yeah. When we make some update in a file, in original
No, no,
file,
no. Can you repeat
that
once again? Can you repeat once again? Can you repeat once again?
when we make some update in original file,
Hmm.
okay, that update will not be stored in the replica, right?
No, it will be. That is called as replica.
Okay. Whenever we make an update, it will replicate
Whatever
to.
update you do it on the source file, that file will be replicated in the destination. Whatever changes, whatever the content. Okay. Okay, good. So let's go to another AWS service. So now I have a very big problem how AWS is solving it. Till 2013, I had that problem. I used to write a program in my company. 2013 onwards, AWS solved the problem. Sir, the good part of AWS S3 is this is AWS S3. How much data you can move it in a one bucket, sir? How much data you can move it in one bucket? Infinity. So your company is there. Your company is very, very important files. You started moving into what is that? You started moving into what is that? AWS S3 you started moving, yes or no?
Yes, objects.
You moved the AWS S3 objects, sir. Okay, you started moving object, very good. But after certain period of time, let's take an example. I'm taking an example of you have AWS database backup and you file, it's very, very important. You are keeping in AWS S3. Let's take an example. January 1st to backup, you kept it. January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, you lent. And today's is, what is that? What is that today's date? July 1st. You taken lot of backup. Can you tell me what is the advantage of keeping January 1st file? January 1st files are very old now. I don't want January 1st files. But when you keep on adding the file, my cost of my AWS S3 is what is that? Keep on increasing it. So what should you do? You should come up with a policy saying that retention policy. What is meant by retention policy? Sir, if the files are older than 2 months, delete them because I don't require. How do you delete a file which are older than 2 months? How do you delete it? You will write a program. Is it clear, right? You are going to write a program saying that, okay, get me all the files and check when the file is created in AWS S3. If it is, check on today's date. Today's date is January. Today's date is July 1st. Go back to minus 2 months. What is the file which is created? Array, this file is created in January 1st. That is older than 2 months, right? You need to delete it. I used to write a program. So the problem here is, if I want to do any policies related to, what is that? Maintenance. This price is increasing. So what should I do? I should go and delete all these files. Yes or no? Because they're very older. How do you delete it? You need to delete it. Okay, that is the reason. Why do you take care of deleting? If it is older file, let AWS delete it. You have a concept called as, please write it down, S3 S3 life cycle policy. S3 life cycle policy. Okay, S3 life cycle policy. Sir, what is this S3 life cycle policy? Pretty simple. Can you tell me what is the life cycle of a human being? What is the life cycle of a human being?
100 years.
Pardon me, sir. What is
100
the
years.
life cycle? Yes. So you born, okay? Born. Example: born, married, kids, old age, dead. Yes or no? Similarly, you are going for a life cycle of S3. What you can do, even your maintenance activity also AWS can take care. Sir, what is that AWS S3 maintenance activity? You can mention, sir, what you can mention, whenever you are basically, what are you doing? What are you doing? Whenever you are creating a file in, what is that? AWS S3. Example, first day, you are keeping the file, right? You can tell AWS, in AWS you can define from first day to how many days? 30 days, because this period my files are young, important, right? Let us keep that files in what mode? Standard mode. I can tell on the first day, let's keep my files in standard mode. You keep your files in standard mode. Yes or no? You keep it in standard mode. Very good, sir. Now you can come up and say, after 30 days to 60 days, you can tell like, you can move this file into, what is that? Infrequent standard. You can also come up and say, from 60 days to 90 days, the file should automatically move into, what is that? Glacier. You remember what is Glacier, right? Okay. On 90th day, the file should, you can mention like this. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? You can mention life cycle policies. You can mention life cycle policies. What is the life cycle of an S3? Array, whenever the file is uploaded, from that first day to 30th date, keep the file, because that is very young. Let's keep it in standard. It is your wish. It is your wish. You can come up and say, keep it in standard. For your example, I'm telling you 30 days. After 31st day, delete it. You are the owner. How do you want to go for it? You can go for it. But I'm telling an example. You can come up and say, from 30 days to 60 days, let's keep it in standard infrequent. From 60 days to 90 days, let's keep it in glacier. 90th day, without, what should happen? The file should automatically delete it. You can mention all these kind of things in AWS S3 in life cycle policy. You mention it, automatically after certain days the file will delete automatically. You don't worry about the maintenance activities. Am I adding more files? Who's going to delete the files? What is the cost and everything? Very beautifully defined by AWS guys. Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions?
Yeah, Kumar, this is Ramarao. For
Yeah.
object level, we have the archival policy, and for bucket level, we have
No,
some replication. Is that what I'm saying?
absolutely no, sir. Where is there in an object level? You can select an object, and select an object, and you can say, I want that particular object to be in standard equivalently Glacier. But what is happening? You are applying this policy on a bucket level to all the objects.
Okay.
Got it? So what is happening? You are adding a files into AWS S3. If you want certain files, certain folders where it should automatically get deleted, then what do? You define a policy, automatically it will go and delete based on your policy, what you defined.
No, why I'm asking this question, when we define replication, when we are deleting, automatically the file is also deleting, right? So we don't
Okay.
have the
But
backup.
but the question here is, who is deleting that? You are deleting it.
Okay. Yes.
What will happen if 1 million files are there? In that 1 million files, any files which are older than basically 2 months, you want to delete. So what you need to do? You need to figure it out and you need to delete it. But here, who is doing that?
Okay. Policy, as per the policy it is.
Got it?
Yes.
So you define the policy, AWS based on the policy, they are deleting it. Got it, sir?
Yes.
If you go back and see, let us take an example how the life cycle policies you can define it. You go and click on the file and you can go into the management, and there is the first one. What is this? Life cycle policy. You can create your own rules. Create your own rule, like rule number one, like rule to delete after how many? Example. What is that? What is that? My company, Tata company told, hey, don't delete my files. Only delete a file if it is older than 3 months. But come up with your plan to get very less cost. Then what do? You simply come up and say, right now, you can go and specify only to the scope and provide the folder name. But right now I'll like to go for what is that? All the buckets. Example. Okay, then you can come up and say, see here, sir, you can define. Move the current version of object between the storage. Yes. Okay. Then as an example, I'll click on like this. I'll tell you like this. What is this one? The file should automatically move it into what is that? Standard AI after what is that? 30 days. Is it clear? As an example. You can also mention, you are the owner, sir. Okay. So let's take, and you can say the file should automatically move it into what is that? Deep Glacier after basically what is that? 60 days. Then, okay, I acknowledge. Then the file should automatically expire after X. You are the owner. What did I mention in the top? 60. File should automatically basically after how many days the file non-current version and current version. So let's see here. Number of new versions to retain. How many? You remember, right? You can mention, someone asked the question like, I want to have a replication versions 10 only. Then you can mention that version value and how many days, number of days after the object, basically what is that one? You can mention those things. Permanently delete after, let's take an example, 65 days you can specify. Now you see the rule. It's just take an example. Day 0, the file is what is that? Uploaded. After 30 days, the file will move it into standard invector. After 60 days, the file will move it into Glacier. Okay. Then 61st day, the object get expire. You can define these rules and regulations. Then the deletion of the objects or the maintenance activity of your AWS S3 will be done. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any question on S3 replication? See the powerful AWS service, the S3. These all activities in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 are done by storage engineers. I don't require storage engineers. Why? If I use AWS S3, I don't require storage engineers. I don't require network engineers if I know VPC. I don't require IT people if I know EC2. Is it right? All the people are replicated. I don't require people because AWS is providing them as a service for us. That is the reason why worldwide people are moving, because with a lesser people I can implement. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions?
Yeah, Kumar, I have a
What's the
question
meaning
here.
of Glacier, sir? AWS service. Glacier, you remember? You have
One
a
second.
file which I will not use that file. So what do? You archive that file. I'm asking you, do you remember I told you an example of your old photos? Old photos are important. You cannot delete them. When do you access your old photos, where childhood photos? When do you see? When any
No.
relatives comes or once in an event comes, then only you will open. Once in a year you will open. So what is the reason I can't keep the data in standard? I'll get high cost. What I can do, I can zip it and then move it into one, okay, tape. Later point of one, when I require it, I can pull the data. That is called as glacier storage. I told you what is the data glacier storage. Yes, sir. Please go ahead with your question.
The file versioning, right? We have versioning
Yes.
that can also done in the cross region.
No, I did not get you. File versioning?
Yeah. So whenever you want to take a backup, file versioning, right? So we'll do the backup, and it will be the same region, right? So
Yeah.
that is region based, right? So
Hmm.
can we replicate that into the versioning the file into the cross region as
Everything
well?
is automatically replicated, sir. Everything is automatically, even the versions will be replicated. Yes, sir. When you click on replication, right? From that point of time, when you add a file, you have 10 replication, and one of the most important thing during the replication, one of the most important point is, so you have a source and a destination bucket, right? So if you are creating a replication, a mandatory step would be versioning should be enabled. In the destination bucket, versioning should be enabled. Then only replication is possible. Is it clear?
Yeah, can you repeat once again?
So what is meant by replication? So there is a bucket here. Bucket A is a source. Bucket B is destination. When you are creating, what is that? Replication rule, right? The mandatory rule, it will say this bucket and this bucket versioning is equal to true. It should be mandatory. If you don't do versioning is equal to true, replication will not happen. So that is the reason you add a file here. You do 10 changes here. You will have all the versions here also in both the buckets. Got it, sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it clear?
And,
This is
yes.
the
And
way. Yeah.
one more question, and follow-up question. When the
Good.
replication is happening, right? So it is happening on the only added data, or otherwise is the entire file will be replicated.
No, blob storage means entire content. Entire content. That is the reason we call it as a blob storage. Blob binary, the content which is getting changed, it is not that capability. Okay, that is not that capability. You will have the total files, but in the background, AWS would have used some kind of a logic where only difference can be taken care. But
Why?
if
Because if it
according,
is my file size is 10 GB, just I
uh,
did a change of 1
yes,
KB data, then I need to
I
be.
do agree on your point. But as an example, versioning will be done on an object level. So I think it is going to keep the complete file. It may not use the only difference of that particular file. I doubt it. I doubt it, sir. I doubt it. Blob file cannot be done like that one. That is the reason why big data we get a huge cost, because we have lot of things. That is the reason. That is the reason. That's a good point what you said. That is the reason, you remember, right? I also provided one recommendation. What is AWS recommendation? Individual file, maximum file is how much? Using automation, 5
5
GB.
GB.
Okay, but what is the recommendation I said you by AWS? 100 MB. You remember?
Hmm.
That is the reason AWS is providing its own recommendation, saying that if the file is more than 100 MB, what do you do? Then what do you do? 10 GB file, don't do it in 10 GB. Divide it into like 100 pieces or like 100 pieces. So tomorrow there is any change on only specific file, right? That gets replicated. That is the beauty of AWS recommendation. Hope you got my
Again,
answer.
again, its cost will increase, right? If you 100 files, right, I need
Yeah.
to maintain 100 versions. If I need to maintain 100 versions, I need to
Okay,
pay for
there
the
is
100
any change,
versioning.
100 version. If there is any change on a one file, why it will go and change it in 100 files? Only that particular file, that particular part only gets versioned, right?
But if it is, I'm maintaining the versions, right? I need to pay for
Yeah.
that, right? Instead of, if
You,
I have only one
it's
file,
very simple, sir. You have a 10 GB file or you have 100 MB files. Both the cost is same, no, sir. Got it? Got it, sir. Both are at the end of the day 10 GB of storage. And let us take an example. Every day you are going and changing the file of 10 GB. Let us take an example in the background. 10 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB is there. Your cost is increasing. But let's take an example. If you have divided your file into 100 pieces, tomorrow you're doing changes. Only certain people, so certain pieces are getting updated. All the files are not getting version. Only that few 100 MB files are getting updated. Got it? Version. That is the reason why. That is the reason in Microsoft my files are divided into 50 MB each. And I don't know because that is, I have not done that architecture. That is done by my principal architecture, and I was not a data engineer at that period of time. Why he is converted into 50 MB, we would have made it 500 MB. It was a thought. Then what you are mentioning, that is the actual reason. Tomorrow there is any change, AWS want to do any checksums, it is very easy to do the checksum, which part is getting changed, and only that part will be updated and versioned.
and just Kumar, just to clarify one thing, the versioning, the billing will be happening on the version for each file basis or otherwise storage basis.
Size, storage, sir. Storage.
But
At
you
the
mean to
end of
say
the
if
day, what
you
is your storage size?
suppose if I have 1 GB, I can divide it into the 20 pieces. Okay,
No,
then
no, no.
still I will
1
get
GB file. 1 GB file.
I divided into 20 pieces.
Okay.
Okay, like a 50 MB kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, uh, in that case, I will get, there is a 10 versioning I will be maintaining, right? Since it is a 10 files, I will be maintaining the 10 versions.
Okay. So for your example, so again, you're saying again that is wrong. Think about it, sir. You have a 1 GB file. Okay, complete 1 GB file. You have one version, correct?
Yes.
You do two changes. You have two versions. Yes or no?
Hmm. Yeah.
What is each size? 1 GB and 1
Two
GB.
versions,
So total 3
1 GB
GB.
and 1 GB. Yeah.
Okay. Now you have second case. You have 1 GB file. You divide it into 20 pieces. You have 20
Yes.
version, but each version is what size? 50 MB.
50 MB.
Tomorrow you do a small change in one file. So 20 versions are getting created or one file is getting changed.
One file get changed.
So now tell me what is happening. Which one is safer?
Yeah, safer is that dividing it and storing into the multiple pieces, multiple files. But obviously, okay. But if a cost is happening on the storage side, then it is good. Otherwise, on the each and every file,
No,
what you can say,
it will
versioning side.
be it will be based, it will be happening based on the storage size, the total storage type. But always you need to, your point is also a little bit valid. The reason is tomorrow you have a capability. So you are storing the AWS S3 files, that is okay. But tomorrow you are doing lot of downloads, right? So what is happening? Instead of one, you are doing 20 downloads. That means 20 get objects. So AWS S3 will also come on get objects, right? Number of get objects, the number of put objects. That cost will be slightly increases. Understood, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is also you need to take care. Okay, good, very
Okay.
good question. Okay, so if you see, that is these are the capabilities of AWS S3. I am done. I only require more 35 minutes to complete AWS S3. I will explain you that one on Tuesday. So tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards till Tuesday and Monday, it's off. And I don't know. I don't know. Some people have asked me exclusively, called me exclusively. I don't know. Do you want Tuesday also holiday? Okay. So because a lot of people ask me, I want Tuesday also holiday. So please tell me. I am a local at I will be available Saturday, Sunday also I will be available. But I know the importance of you. Pongal, a lot of people will travel. Let me know if you want Tuesday as a holiday. That's I don't have any problem. I'll go make it Tuesday as a holiday. Let's go and see it on Wednesday. Is it clear? So shall I consider, what is your consideration? Tuesday as a holiday. How many people say yes? Okay, most of the people in the classroom. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Online people, is that okay? Can I make it Tuesday as a holiday? Except Suresh.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay,
No,
that's fine.
I'm
So, yes, sir.
no,
Okay.
I'm okay to have class in this Tuesday, but still majority wins.
Yeah, so I'll make Tuesday as a holiday. Let's make
Okay,
Tuesday
sir.
also. One day I don't have any problem. If Tuesday is a
Okay.
holiday, I will extend that one on Saturday. What is there in that? Okay, and we are at time.
Oh,
So we are in good shape, the way at which we are going the services on time. So let's make Tuesday as a holiday. So for you, again, you will not get any SMS, sir. Tuesday, holiday for this part. Okay,
uh,
that's fine. So let's talk. Let's go into another AWS small thing, nothing. So keep it in your mind, please. This is an interview question. Write it down. S3 S3 consistency. AWS is only following one consistency, right? In the past 2 years back ago, it was following two consistency. Now it is only following one consistency. That is important subject, sir. Strong read write consistency. Strong read write consistency. Sir, what is this consistency and what do you do? Very simple. What AWS says. Now, what AWS says, sir. It was in the past, there were some issues. Now, AWS is pretty good. What is meant by strong read write consistency? Pretty simple, sir. What AWS says. What AWS says. This is one region. In region, how many availability zones are there? No, it depends upon region. North Virginia has 6, Mumbai has 3, Hyderabad has 3. Let us assume we have availability zone A, availability zone B, availability zone C. Okay. Now I am moving one file in standard mode. What is the meaning of a standard mode in AWS S3? A regularly access file, and it's not regularly access file. Even you keep it in one zone availability, basically it is regularly accessed, sir. What is a SLA?
Greater than 3 zones, it will
Yes,
take.
very good, very good. So what is that? Greater than or equal to 3 availability zone, the file will be moving. So what AWS will say, when I moved my file at 9 o'clock 1 minute 0001 second, the file has been moved into S3. So S3 has moved, like the file is up. You add a file. So you started adding a file, one add file. It took 10 minutes time at exactly this second. What is that second? 9 o'clock, 1 minute, 0.00001 second. The file got, what is that? Uploaded. Uploaded just like that. On the same second, someone is asking for, what is that? Same second. download. Will it download, or it will say file does not exist? Check it out and see the diagram. So in the olden days, the problem was when you drag and drop a file, the file used to be kept it here, and then what used to happen, this file will be moving here, this file will be moving here, yes or no? For that one, it requires small 1 second or a half second time. So on the same time, if anyone is asking for a download, maybe the download went into this location, at the same place the file is not there, right? And it will say file does not exist. So now that is called as eventual consistency in the olden days. Now AWS is following, what is that? Strong consistency. What is the meaning of strong consistency? When a file is added at a same second, someone is asking for download, it will download. Is it clear? So what AWS is doing in the background, when you drag and drop a file in AWS S3, parallelly they are taking one file, they're moving here, then they're moving here, then they're moving there. They're not doing that clicks one. You drag and drop a file, the file will be parallelly moving the file in the same location. At the same time the file is moved, it is available in the all three things. So at the same second someone is asking for a download, it will download. Is it clear? That is called as strong consistency. Let's talk about one more thing. Sir, now what happened? Now I updated this file. So the update will happen, right? So the updated happened at 9 o'clock, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 0.0010 milliseconds. The file is uploaded. Now what happens? This is the file which got uploaded, but this one is not uploaded, this one is not uploaded. At that period of time, customer is asking, I need Dikshit's file. So what will happen? Now, for your example, in the olden days, this file will download. This file is a newer version or older version? Older version used to download. Nothing. What is strong read write consistency? When this file at this time is, what is that? Uploaded, means it is already uploaded here and here also. So when you ask for a download file, it will be downloading the latest version, not the old version. That is called as strong read write consistency. Is it clear? Pretty simple, pretty important in an interview question. What is meant by S3 consistency? What consistency S3 follows? Strong read write consistency. What is the meaning of this one? Sir, whenever you upload the file, at the same second you download, it will download. Whenever you updated the file, at the same second someone is asking for the file, you will get the latest updated file, not the older file. That is called as strong read write consistency. Clear? Anyone has any questions? I am done for AWS S3. I have 3 more topics to complete. That is basically on Wednesday I'll start. I'll start. What are the 3 topics, sir? The 3 topics is, I will go and explain you S3 bucket policies, which will take 40 minutes. 10 minutes I will explain you S3 endpoints, and S3 CORS, 10 more minutes. Cross origin resource sharing. AWS S3 will be completely done. One of the most important AWS service, 6 to 7 AWS certification questions will come in any AWS certificate in S3. VPC EC2 S3 itself, you should get somewhere between 20 out of 64. Are you able to understand, right? So take it that one very, very seriously. Very, 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 very important. Anyone has any questions, please, 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 please let me know. Please let me know. Is it clear? Okay, guys, I'll sign off right now.
Yes.
Have a very, 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 very great holidays. It's a very, very quality time. Don't be confused in terms of spending, oh, I will go and study something. If you are a bachelor or anything, yes, please invest in your studies. If you are with your family, happily spend, don't touch your books, anything. Have a very great time. Family is more, 100 times more important than studies or whatever next things comes into picture. Have a very great Pongal and see you on Wednesday. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.